He finally did it. After 3 different Smash Bros titles and over 10 years of traveling and grinding to become the best Wario player in the world, Gluteny claimed his first major outside of Europe at this past weekend's Pound 2022, taking down his friend and rival MkLeo twice in the process. That Gluteny made it to Pound's Grand Final after a stellar Genesis 8 performance was no surprise. But how did he take down MkLeo after dropping 6 consecutive games to him last week in California? Today, we take you through the adjustments and big plays Gluteny made to turn things around and take home the gold. As we covered on the channel last week, Gluteny was on fire at Genesis 8, pushing his advantage state farther than we've ever seen and earning wins against players like Cola and Spargo, who had given him hell in the past meetings. Against Leo, whom Gluteny fought in both winners quarterfinals and grand finals, it was an entirely different story. Gluteny was unable to take a single game in either set, and no coincidence, he hit just 1 Waft. Now, that's not the be-all end-all for Gluteny. He only hit 1 KO Waft in his win over Spargo as well, and it was in a game he lost. But that's not the only key to those sets. The first minute of the game is key for a Wario player. Without Waft, this is Wario's weakest phase of the game. His job here is to survive and make sure he'll be able to get maximum use out of his Waft as the game goes on, whether that means having full Waft on deck for the last stock or even stretching the game out enough to use multiple. That didn't happen at all against Leo at Genesis. As you can see here, Gluteny wasn't the one taking the earliest stocks in this set. It was Leo who was able to take the earliest 2 stocks, with the help from Gluto on a key SD in game 2 as well. Gluto was forced to play constant catch-up, either forced to aggressively fish for the Waft equalizer or hold on to the Waft for a last-ditch effort on the last stock, if he could even force it. Perhaps worse than the fact that Gluteny only hit 1 Waft across those 6 games is that he only even attempted 5. The games were too short and the leads were too few and far between for Gluteny to find his openings, and the result was destruction in Leo's favor. Before we take a look at the Pound sets, let's go back to Summit 4, the last time these two played a full set of Wario vs Byleth. The first 2 games feel almost ripped from the Genesis sets. Both games were defined by Leo's ability to hold his second stock. In each game, he was able to survive for over 2 minutes on his second stock, denying Gluteny the game-sealing Waft opportunities he was looking for. In both cases, Gluteny held it in and he took a pair of L's as a result. The next 3 games, Gluteny went off, hitting 5 of the 6 Wafts he attempted as he pulled out one of the rarest feats in Ultimate, a reverse 3-0 over the GOAT. So, Gluteny wins when he hits his Wafts? That's great, but you don't exactly need a degree from Smash University to figure that one out. The answer to Gluteny's success, both in the final 3 games at Summit and his win at Pound, lies deeper. The thing about those first 2 games at Summit is that Gluto didn't lose because he missed his Wafts. He didn't even attempt one, just as he didn't in Game 2 of Grands at Genesis 8. In Game 3 of the Summit set, Gluto tossed the game plan of saving the Waft for the final moment out the window, and it saved him. Game 3 saw him go for one of the rawest Wafts you'll ever see from a top-level Wario. Not only is it rare to see Warios go for Wafts this early with no confirmed, it's even rare to see them do it with the opponent at such high percent. In a vacuum, it seems incredibly risky to use this resource at this time of the game, but looking at the rest of the set, it makes perfect sense. Gluteny had been punished hard for holding his Waft because Leo simply wasn't dying to anything else. In order to open up the game, Gluto decided to let it rip. He was doubly rewarded. Not only did he get the stock for it, but using Waft just over a minute into the game allows him to get 2 more half Waft opportunities, one of which hit to end the game. Game 4 was a bit more standard. Gluto held on to his second stock forever, was able to force Leo to the last stock first, and clutched it out on a whiff punish on a would-be set-ending down smash from Leo. But the final game again saw Gluto get aggressive with the Waft. Thanks to a relatively quick first stock, Gluto was able to use the Waft to pressure Leo on his second stock, and after finding an opening from a ledge roll, he found the early stock he needed to claim a 2-stock lead. With all the time in the world, Gluto was able to wait out another half Waft, which he used to seal the set. So the question here isn't really, can Gluteny hit his Wafts? The question is, can he give himself the opportunity to do so in a spot that matters? At Genesis, Leo did a fantastic job of holding his second stock to prevent the high impact Waft situation from presenting running itself in the first place. He also did a tremendous job of taking Glutonny's stocks early and keeping the game short. When it feels like one waft is all Gluteny can get, he's much less tempted to pull the trigger before the final stock. Looking at the data from the Summit and Genesis sets, one number seems to decide whether or not Gluteny can win the game: the timer when he loses his second stock. In the 3 wins in these 3 sets, Gluteny lost his second stock an average of 3.6 minutes into the game. In his 8 losses, he lost his second stock an average of 2.8 minutes into the game. There's a pretty clear line to be drawn here. If Gluteny can make it 3 minutes into the game with his second stock intact, he at least has a chance. Would that pattern hold through the pound sets? Let's watch. Game 1 of winter semis. Gluteny actually fell to his last stock first, but the good news? He held on for a solid 3 minutes and 31 seconds. Perhaps more importantly, he was able to clear Leo's second stock with the invincibility from the first stock before finding an incredible back and forth combo route to connect the game-winning waft. So far, that's 1 for 1 for our key to the set. Game 2 was Leo's sole victory in the winner set. Once again, Gluto dropped to the last stock before Leo, but this time he had only held on for 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Gluto found Leo's last stock relatively quickly, but was unable to connect his best waft opportunity and lost the game shortly after. So far, the rule holds. Live to 3 minutes with your second stock or lose. Game 3 saw Gluteny's most shocking use of Waft yet, as a parry punish to armor through the multiple hits of Byleth's oppressive neutral air. Leo was able to retake the lead, but not before Gluto held on to his second stock for nearly 4 whole minutes. Gluto found the revenge kill and, thanks to how early he used the first one, had a full Waft on deck ready to take the game off of an incredible full stage combo. That's the first time we had seen Gluto go for multiple Wafts against Leo since the Summit set, and it paid off handsomely. And once again, our golden rule was correct. Gluto lengthened the game and he won. In Game 4, Leo was able to find another stock lead, and this time he finally snuffed out Gluto's second stock before the 3-minute mark, at 2 minutes and 48 seconds into the game. The fact that Gluto was able to find the down tilt dash attack confirm off the Angel platform is what let him stay in the game. Less than 45 seconds later, Gluto would find his new favorite combo, the jab lock into the waft, to claim the set. Gluto didn't live to 3 minutes, but most importantly, he was able to extend his second stock long enough to threaten Leo with the revenge kill off the Angel platform, opening the door for Waft to win the set. Now, Grand Finals. Leo's likely aware that he needs to make these games faster, and he immediately did so in Game 1, picking up a nasty shield break to force a last stock situation. Still, Gluto had his Waft on deck and was able to take the game. The first game he was able to take from Leo's Byleth in the post-lockdown era when losing his second stock so early. Despite the setback, Leo was not about to slow down. In Games 2, 3, and 4 of the first Grand Set, Leo didn't give Gluteny a single Waft opportunity. In all 3 games, he was able to take Gluto's second stock before the 2.5 minute mark, including a vicious 3 stock to end the set where Gluto's second stock evaporated at the 64-second mark. Let's evaluate our golden rule before we go into the Grand Finals reset. At this point, dating back to Summit, Leo and Gluto had played 19 games, with Leo holding a 12-7 advantage. When holding the second stock for 3 minutes, Gluto was 5-3. When failing to hold the second stock for 3 minutes, he was 2-9. There are ways for Gluto to win if he loses early stocks, just as there are ways for him to choke should he manage to hold on, but the numbers don't lie. If Gluteny can just hold on to his second stock long enough, the power of Waft could bring it home. Gluto was able to extend Game 1 of the reset, holding his second stock for nearly 4 minutes. But the critical second part didn't come to fruition. Despite a few terrifying scramble situations as the game would go down, Leo was able to find the down tilt up air confirm he needed. In Game 2, Gluto's survivability continued. He held each of his first 2 stocks well beyond 100%, and didn't drop his second stock until 3 minutes and 43 seconds into the game. As we saw a few times in winter semis, the fact that he lasted long enough to give himself a chance at the revenge kill off the Angel platform proved critical. Gluto was able to take Leo's stock within 7 seconds of losing his own, and this time, with one of his classic roll reads, he was able to find the necessary waft to get on the board. In Game 3, Leo finally got Gluto down to his last stock before the 3 minute mark. Worse for Gluto, Leo held a clean second stock of his own at this point. Gluto never found the opportunity for the Waft in this game, but even if he had, there still would have been more work to do. Game 4. Now Gluto had his back to the wall. Despite a strong start from Leo, Gluteny survives a few near-killing blows and even manages to find the first stock off a missed tech on the Pokemon Stadium platform. Leo would quickly clean it up, but the length of the first stock meant Gluteny had a full Waft already online. All it took was one clean spot dodge for Gluto to pick up a huge lead. By the time Leo found Gluto's second stock, 3.5 minutes had ticked off the clock, and a half Waft was already online, prepped for Leo's third stock. Leo played almost perfectly down the stretch, but one landing nair onto the platform was all it took for Gluto to squeeze out the victory. Game 5. The first stock drags out just as Glutony wants, even if Leo is able to even things out quickly after Gluto gets on the board first. Leo keeps chipping away, but Gluto is playing incredibly safe. The hits keep coming, but Leo can't find the follow-ups. By the time Leo finally finds a stock, 3 minutes and 18 seconds have come off the clock. With the full Waft on deck, the entire set essentially comes down to how long Leo can hold onto his second stock with 64% already on him. TK Breezy put it perfectly.
So, MkLeo, 1 stock away from winning pound. Glutonny, 1 stock away from also winning pound because he has the Waft. You know what I mean? True.
For that reason, it's entirely reasonable to say that this is the interaction that won pound.
Oh, 4th throw. Okay, get out of here. Oh, wow. I landed on stage. Oh my.
One big parry and one even bigger jump read later, Gluteny had his Waft and his victory, finally winning a North American major and doing it over the man who had stopped him just 1 week prior. Again, our pattern held. If Gluto was able to extend the game, good things happened most of the time. He lost the one game he failed to hold on to a second stock through the 3-minute mark in the Grand Finals reset, and he won 3 of the 4 where he was able to do so. It was a complete reversal of what we had seen in Grand Finals at Genesis just a week before, where Leo was able to find consistent early stocks and not just force missed wafts out of Gluto, but prevent him the opportunity to use it at all. Overall, the game counts between the two in the Byleth Wario matchup now sits at 13-11 in MkLeo's favor. Gluto held his second stock for nearly a full minute longer in the 11 wins, winning only twice when he failed to hold his stock for 3 minutes, and losing every single time he failed to hold the second stock for at least 2 minutes and 20 seconds. His pound win was the result of absolutely incredible defense played against the world's best at finding cracks in your armor. What does this mean for the future? If you want to beat Gluteny, your best bet is probably to rush him down, but that's much easier said than done. Light has done this in the past, but he's the best rushdown player in the world, and he's now nursing a 3-set losing streak to Gluteny. Wario has the frame data to box with just about anybody and the air mobility to run away from the rest. And Gluteny has the perfect combination of incredible punish game and the survivability to maximize everything that makes this character unique. MkLeo remains the best player in the world, but between Spargo and Gluteny, he's amassing some pretty serious challengers. Gluto returned home to France following Pound, but he'll be back in America for Double Down, and you can bet the sets we'll get upon his return will be some of the hottest we've ever seen. For now though, our attention turns towards Texas and Low Tide City, where Ultimate and Melee will both be in action for the 3rd straight weekend, as well as Japan, where the Golden Week holidays promise some of the biggest tournaments the country has seen in months. Subscribe to PGstats to keep up with everything you need to know from all the upcoming Smash action. Thanks for watching. My name is Charles Thorin. You can check me out on Twitter at CharlesThorin_. And if you'd like to see more content from me, you can check out Smash University and Tweak Talks. Hope you guys enjoyed the content and have a wonderful day.